what we need to do is be smart and take advantage of these opportunities. Go out to these places and network and get what and put ourselves in the positions where we can really capitalize. Yo, what's up and welcome to episode 32 of the 30% podcast hosted by myself and my nigga Sam. Sam, what's up?
What's going on? What's going on?
Yeah. Welcome.
Welcome one, welcome all.
Welcome. Come one, come all to see this extravaganza called the 30% podcast. Your boy Afam is back doing the intros.
Oh yeah.
And
I was fired after week
Sam. Sam was fired. No, he wasn't. We might do an alternating type thing, but I don't know. We let's not break the fourth wall too much, Sam. Let's try and maintain
mystery.
An element of
professionalism
mystery for the for the listeners, But Sam, how have you been? How have you been how's your week? Like, what you been up to?
What have I done? Oh, this week honestly it's been there was a production for an ad that I was part of. So honestly, you're dealing with clients, bro. Dealing with clients. Clients
the back and forth
are the worst. You break your back for them and then they decide, nah, we don't like it. And
Is
make
that
it
what they decided?
And then make it seem like it's your fault. And then now you have to go out of your way to fix. It's just dealing with clients can be just a pain. There are very few clients where you have like a very smooth. Let me not say very few, but then it's a blessing when you find clients who treat you well. But so that's what I've been doing this whole week, honestly. It's just a whole bunch of recording, voiceover, and sound for ads and film and whatever. It's cool. It's cool though. I enjoy it.
Sorry about that, bro. Sorry about that.
Are you apologizing? You didn't do anything.
No, I mean it's. I can't say sorry about that. Like as a friend,
you know what? You can. You completely 100% can. How was your week?
Exactly. My week was good. Highlight of the week was us going to record the.
Oh yeah, we did that. Yeah. Hey, shout out to Afare and Suki. Suki.jpg. That's our IG handle, right?
Yes.
You're right. To butcher that.
I saw the fear in your eyes, bro. Wow. Like you were like
say some nonsense.
No, but shout out to them. Shout out to the guys, to the homies at the Good Company. Byron was really good. Like I figured the audience hasn't seen Byron, so we are privileged in the maybe they have. I don't know. But
no, they
Byron
definitely heard about him.
Behind the scenes.
Poor guy.
Yeah. Byron. Just shout out to them, Breaking Hearts.
Yeah.
It was a very
and the audience. There was an audience there too.
Oh, we did have an audience. Shout out Eric. Shout out Kags. I feel like actually that was the first time that the 30% podcast have been together on video.
Oh yeah, so if you guys want to know what we look, okay, yeah, actually, is your face on?
I cringe.
Is your face on IG? Is your image on IG?
Yeah.
It is. So people can.
Yeah,
it's me that I don't think I'm anywhere. Although if you dig really hard, you could possibly find a picture of me somewhere.
Hey yo, pause. But like, yeah, man. I'm joking. But like, it was a good experience. I hated seeing myself on camera. Oh. Absolutely despised it.
You have to figure out why, though.
So hard. I don't know, man.
Why is it, Afam? Let's get into a whole psychology session. Why don't you like seeing yourself? Oh, and this is my Sam counselor voice.
Did you have fun seeing yourself?
No, I haven't watched it, and I don't think I'm going to watch it.
You're even worse than me, and you're about to do a psychoanalysis on me, and you haven't even watched it.
Hey, listen, doctors get cancer, okay? It doesn't matter what I feel as long as we're helping you. I'm here to help you.
Oh my god, this is the pot calling the kettle black. But yeah, it was an interesting. I mean, yeah, for those of you who haven't seen how we look, I guess that'll be forever
If that's a
immortalized
thing that you care about, honestly.
on the internet. One day we'll make this. We'll make this
We'll
a
put
video
ourselves out
podcast,
there.
so maybe
Yeah,
you'll be
plan
able
some
to
photo
see
shoots.
us.
Some photo shoots are in the plans, actually. So you might get to see us sooner than later. Our
Yeah.
one fully Nigerian face and one half Nigerian face.
Okay.
It just made him uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Moving on swiftly.
Moving on swiftly. Shout out to the guys at Breaking Hearts.
Oh yeah, for
and
sure.
The Good Company.
Visit the page,
and,
their podcast.
Yeah, thanks.
Over at the what network
Thanks
is it?
for having
What's
us.
the name of the network?
The Good Company. The Good
Company. Yeah. So go check that out.
Yeah, but other than that, my week was pretty
you.
chill. Bruh, I mean, there was Mandamano, which
oh yeah, I almost got when I think it was Wednesday, right? I almost got tear gassed.
Really?
Where I was doing some of the work, I decided, all right, because I've been there for like 2 days. I'm like, all right, let me go home, get fresh, and then come back and continue working. And as I was leaving the gate of, it's around Langata, I was leaving the gate. There's some thieves running. I don't know if they're thieves or the troublemakers. A whole bunch of them running across, and they were being chased by police in a car, and like tear gas was being thrown in. Like immediately, I opened the gate and walked out. It's like tear gas being thrown around and noise. So I just turned around and ran back upstairs. I didn't run. Okay, no, I ran. I'm not afraid to say I was afraid. I ran because I'm not about to lose my life of other people's struggles. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Bro, the Mandamano this Wednesday or last Wednesday, it felt very like, it felt worse than the previous
Exactly.
ones.
It's getting, they said it's not going to be violent, but it's getting a little bit.
It's getting way more violent, and rest in peace to, the last time I saw it was like 9 people passed away.
Really? Off last week?
Yeah.
Oh,
off
I didn't know
Wednesday,
about that.
man.
That's crazy.
Bro, it's insane. And
oh boy,
it's conflicting because, like, you know, there's so much struggle right now in the country. Economically, we're in the gutter. You know what I mean? Like the cost of living,
it's terrible.
You know, fuel, food. It's all
and then
up.
You're hearing talks of the salaries of the MPs being increased while all of this is going.
I know, man.
It's just
and it's just like. And it's just like, yeah, man, like people have to go out there to fight for these things. But at the same time, you also know or appreciate that Mandamano is also very disruptive to like, it's so counterintuitive because it's also disruptive to people trying to make their money, because that's like a whole day where you can't really move, you can't really operate at the level that you usually do.
A lot of people are lazy, though. I feel like they'd rather be out there talking politics with their friends than actually doing work. This is a good excuse.
What do you mean? In what sense?
I don't know. Well, some people, it's not everyone, and I guess people want, it's for the unserious people, all I guess it would be like a younger generation will be like, let's spend our time out there just hating on politicians and you know, fighting for this thing when we could actually just be working. I guess, you know, what I'm thinking about is how do you figure out a balance between fighting for a better future or ensuring that your now is, you know,
is also such that. That's kind of what I'm saying. Like, we need this activism to happen. Also, at the back of our mind, we also know it's just a big political game. But like, their interest, I guess, our interest aligns in some way.
Yeah.
Obviously, I feel like there's also an element of being used because they know that like the economic times is difficult, so they're gonna play on that to get people to come outside and fight their battles for them. So on both sides, we are being finessed, but ultimately, if we can figure out a way to like just improve the standard of living right now, just easing the burden on so many, like, it'll help So yeah. Anyway, this is a the political podcast. I'm not a very political individual, but yeah, man. Like this whole Mandamano situation it's really affecting us right now, and they're planning on making this thing a 3-day event next week, man. They're trying to
Listen,
do
stay
Mandamano from Wednesday
indoors.
to
Like it's
Friday.
COVID all over again. Stay home. Don't go nowhere. Use
And
this
it's
excuse to
bro,
get to know yourself.
bro, last week, I had a shoot planned for Wednesday. Like and I had to postpone it. Like
Yeesh.
it was so annoying. It's like, yes, I know we need to fight for this country as well. But like that's what I'm saying. Like in our endeavors to like also earn a living and make whatever, like it's also really getting in the way. It's hard. I don't know.
The State of a Nation. That was the State of the Nation address by yours truly, Afam, and yours truly again, me. Not a very good State of the Nation address, but we've shared our concerns.
You could have just said yours truly without saying me.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it would still have made sense.
Yeah. I'm not trained in journalism or broadcasting at all. Leave me alone.
But anyway, outside of politics, let's talk about the politics of music, Sam.
Well, you ruined your own segue. You can't say outside of politics and say let's talk about politics again. Do you want to try that again?
Oh, okay. Let me try that again. that just never happened. So let's rewind. So Sam, outside of politics, no, let me try that one more time.
One more time. Let's see. Third time is
in line with politics. I'd like to talk about the politics of music.
Oh boy,
Sam.
Okay,
I have a very important question to ask you, Ben. We've talked about this time and time again. We've actually talked about this on the pod. I'm even pretty sure we've talked about this like twice or thrice on the podcast. But it's cropped up again. How do you feel about doing things in this industry for essentially clout or having like a
exposure.
a platform or a wider exposure exactly, as opposed to getting the value for what you're doing, which it would be being paid, upfront or being compensated fairly? The reason why I'm bringing this up is because of the recent thing that happened with Wakadinali. So maybe I can just
give context,
broadly give context. So they were supposed to go to Nigeria for a concert or a performance or something, or an appearance, and essentially they refused to go because their promoter wasn't gonna pay them. So the promoter was gonna pay them to go there, so sort out the transportation and all that type of stuff, and possibly the accommodation, but they weren't gonna be paid for their performance and their appearances out there. And essentially these guys refused. They were like, no way, man. I believe the exact thing that he said was, what did he say? He said some Nigerians tried to have us perform for free in Nigeria. Ati watatulipia transport and accommodation.
LOL. The Swahili at the end of that is so spicy.
I know big Kenyan celebs who took the offer. I'm a top tier artist in Kenya. This is Scar who was posting this. He's like, I'm a top tier artist in Kenya. I can't represent my country like that. And then in the next story, he says, we are the only artists who are not controlled by the Matrix. Neo is somewhere, Neo and Morpheus are somewhere clapping it up for Scar.
Is he sure? Is he sure about that? I feel like that's something
by the Matrix.
He'd like to believe.
Yeah. And then so then there's this promoter from Nigeria. He's called Sean Sharp. Do you know him?
I have no, but I've sort of run across him on social media a few times.
Oh, for real? I didn't know him before this debacle. So he said he okay. What I didn't like about him was he threw a little bit of shade to Kenyan music, which is a bit spicy and uncalled for. But this is what he wrote like a long ass thing where he was like note, and his English was a bit
Yeah, don't hate on a bros.
but
Don't hate on someone's English. What are you doing?
Anyway, he's like, note is very good to understand the business and the industry. First of all, the promoter or whoever invite them is buying 3 economy flight tickets. That's if the manager is not included. Just 3 of them, which will cost a minimum of 4,045. I can't read. 451,000 Kenyan shillings on cheapest airline as of today rate, and there is still accommodation, transport, media round, and feeding, which will cost extra. Okay, so he talks about stuff. He's like, whatever, and then he's like, so he says, most of these Nigerian artists that are not A, B, or C list accept this offer. That's why you see Nigerian artists that is not blown fully yet. I'm sorry, I just have to say this. Pardon the language. It's a bit of a challenge, but he says that is not blown fully yet or recognized yet, traveling everywhere, because this offer saves them money and gives him chance to network better in terms of meeting other artists and DJs, also PR gurus in that country, and also get to do media runs, both TV and radio interviews, newspaper and blogs, which plug in room for more exposure for your brand. Trust me, with that, they get to know you more and your songs. So essentially, he's trying to say that they should have just taken the opportunity to go out there, network, build their brand,
and
find, kind of take advantage of that opportunity. But how do you feel? Because this is Wakadinali, who...
Listen, I understand where Sky, and I guess he's representing the group, they're coming from. Because here, I mean, Wakadinali have been, even before the whole drill phase, they were doing like hip hop, street hip hop, like for a while. That's how I was first introduced to them. So I understand the whole thing of feeling like you've been in the Kenyan scene for maybe 10 years plus, and you feel like your value in Kenya should translate for at least
out there,
to roughly close to what your value is out there. But so I understand both sides. What the Sheon, the guy, the Nigerian...
Sam, today we will pick sides, and I don't even know why I've put myself in this predicament.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
But today we'll pick sides. So after this whole debate, I wanna know what side you're leaning more towards.
Okay.
But you do your thing, and then also.
But see, that's the thing though, because I don't know if I'm leaning on a specific side, because I do understand. Okay, so here's my thing. I might actually, I might be on Wakadinali's side on this one, just because.
Okay.
I know, what the promoter is saying. Of course, it makes sense. Yeah. No one knows you on our side of things, right?
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with the amount of profit you're going to make off them being at the show. That has nothing to do with that. And so if that's if you want to tell me that they are not going to bring any money in, or having them as part of the roster, is you should be able to calculate what that is if you're a good promoter, right? Calculate what that is. And then if you do get profit, now I would understand if he's losing money on the Wakadinali ledge, right? The Wakadinali side of things, if they're not as profitable because it's all profit, bro. If they're not as profitable, then I would understand him saying, okay, I understand him pushing for them not necessarily getting paid for the gig, but coming to do exposure and then finding other ways to give value, which I would think he would do from what he's talked about, right?
Yeah.
So that's my thing. And I mean, if you're able to calculate profit I do think, I don't care whether now that's the side I'm on. I don't care whether they are new in the game or anything. I do think art should be paid for. You need to pay for it. There needs to be some value accepted by both parties of this is what I'm going to. Don't sideline how he feels or how they feel as artists. Again, with the asterisks of this has a lot to do with the profits and it has a lot to do with the money. So, but
I mean,
no need to be spicy though.
And
you can communicate that.
One person replied to Sean, and they were like, "You guys have." So this is a Kenyan, I'm assuming. They said, "You guys have had a consistent industry, and also you take good care of your creatives. This is Kenya. You are here. You know our political and economic situation, and it affects everyone and everything, even the mindset." And it was kind of true, man. No, kind of, it's very true, man. Our economic situation is, we've just come off talking about the mandamano that's happening. It's been a struggle this year, you know? And I guess this is in line with what you're saying. People need to be paid. People need...
Art is valuable in itself. Like, we need to stop trying to find ways to either value it more or devalue it. It's valuable in its own right.
What I didn't like was how Sheon... So in one of his stories, he posts a matatu and he's like, this was uncalled for. He was like...
That's what I was talking about. Like, some of the spice was unnecessary. Why is he being spicy?
Yeah, he's like... Because they are playing your songs in this matatu and in pubs on loud stereo does not mean you have blown in Africa or worldwide. Or, better add more promotions. And then he says, let me see. He also says, he's now responding to them. He's like, take it or leave it. As far as Africa music is concerned for now, Nigerian artists is fastest route to export your songs and brand or smuggle your music to other parts of the world with ease. And then he also says, sometimes you will have put in a lot of work and still not getting what you deserve. Is your duty to finish what you start and show them you're worth more than they're offering you. And after that, you will get the bigger bread.
This is so crazy.
That's called paying your dues.
Why is he schooling them?
I'm gonna have to play devil's advocate here, Sam.
Okay.
They're established artists in Kenya.
Yes.
Does that hold any weight as far as music is concerned? Even in this continent, does it really hold that much weight?
Before I answer that, do you think like an artist like, because even he mentioned on one of the slides again, on one of his stories that he wishes Boutros was part of the best East African artist of the year.
Yeah.
Do you think if it was Boutros in this situation, they would have paid him?
They would have still. They'd still have tried to do the same thing. I think they'd still do the same thing that they tried to do with Wakadinali.
Okay. I don't know. I feel like they would have at least paid him, because if they are starting to recognize him as, recognition is the issue here. He's saying that Nigeria doesn't necessarily know the Wakadinali brand yet. But if he's talking
Boutros,
about
Boutros
being on the best East African Artist of the Year category, then he has an idea who Boutros is. So I feel like Boutros might have more of like, no, we're not doing it without money, and he might agree to that. Which doesn't make sense though, because it does and it doesn't. Again, it's tricky though.
What I'm saying is, I think it depends on the artist's like outlook on this industry and their goals, right? So maybe for Wakadinali, they're not trying to become like a mainstream household name known by everybody in Africa. Yeah. I know Boutros is. Boutros, I just get the feeling that Boutros wants that, like, you know, Rema level fame. Yeah. I feel like he would want that. I don't know if Wakadinali really want that. I think Wakadinali are more about the message in their songs, the movement, being anti-establishment, just, you know, being those rebellious people. You know what I mean?
And we know that doesn't go as far, most of the time doesn't go as far as what a mainstream artist commercially pop, whatever you call it.
So I guess for them, they're not looking for the look in that sense. My only argument is that I think as Kenyans we have to like understand where our industry is, right? And our industry, unfortunately, is not at the place where we have that much leverage.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have the numbers, we don't have the listenership outside of Kenya to warrant us having, and I'm not saying that they have huge egos, but to warrant us being like, yo, we're the shit. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying we need to like actually now play by the rules of everyone else. That's not what I'm saying. But what this promoter said outside of his spiciness is kind of true. Like, what we need to do is be smart and take advantage of these opportunities. Go out to these places and network and get what and put ourselves in the positions where we can really capitalize. Now, I know it's difficult for a group like Wakadinali because they've been around for a while and they don't feel what I'm saying is they essentially feel like this is being like Lil Broad, and they've gone through being Lil Broad and they're done with that. They don't want to go through that again. You know what I mean? You don't wanna go through.
I get that, yeah. But you see, the thing about it is this is not going like if let's say they take this and they go, they are not going to get to where they want to get by just one show. They're going to have to do multiple of these.
No, but this is the thing. It's more than the show. It's going out there, meeting people, networking, talking to all the media outlets or as many as you can.
Yeah.
Collaborating or establishing connections where you can actually have collaborations with people from Nigeria. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's more than just the show.
Once it's cool. When you have to do that 2 or 3 different times in maybe different countries and you begin to lose more on your side because that's a lot of your time that you're not getting paid for. Well, you get paid for it in other means, but
you don't. Yeah, exactly. But you get so much more equity that's maybe not financial, but you get a lot of social equity.
The equity
and you
also
get a
depends
lot
on where you go, I guess, and if the audience you're going to.
And Nigeria
like you can go
is
to
a
Nigeria
great place
and
to go.
If Nigeria doesn't
Yes,
rock with that kind of music and they're just like, all right, cool, who are these guys? Thank you, please send us BN.
But that's if. You see, that's if. You'll never know if you don't go out there and you try.
This is all ifs.
You never know, like Wakadinali could go out there and then they collaborate with someone and that collaboration is done in a way that's palatable to like a Nigerian audience. You get what I mean? Then it makes sense. If a Nigerian artist came here, they would try and pander to us, like just the way we see Ira Star now trying to talk in like Kiswahili to see on the song with BN.
Didn't sound too amazing, Ira. Thank you for trying to assimilate the culture.
But she tried. So it's not like Wakadinali would just go there and just do like straight like.
Yo, it would be crazy hearing Wakadinali rap pidgin English, brother. That would be so amazing. I need that song.
They'd be authentic to themselves, but I don't think they would like talk like in the conquest of Sheng or just
dropping
like,
Yoruba,
I think
trying to drop Yoruba on joints. Can you imagine Skat?
I don't know.
Can you imagine Skat incorporating Yoruba into this?
Honestly, I just think we need to like. Sure, there's more nuance to this whole conversation, but sometimes you need, as an artist, unfortunately, you need to bite the bullet and recognize that, listen, people are using you for monetary gain because obviously these promoters, whatever, they're going to get a lot of money from your presence and stuff, which is annoying. But if you don't have that much leverage, then what really can you do? You have to also play the game. And I'm saying, as much as Wakadinali have a huge presence here, do they have the leverage that they think they have outside of Kenya?
Do you think your leverage determines your value? Because that's what I'm hearing from you.
Yes, it does. Unfortunately, in the music industry, your numbers, just like, obviously, numbers is a big one. And that's what gives you leverage.
I think that's what we see, though. But what I'm trying to say is art is valuable in itself and it has a value. Leverage, when you start including leverage, I think that's a different topic. I think there's a lot of musicians who will not take. They're not as known. They're not as pop, but they won't take no money for anything. Like
and that's great.
They don't have leverage, but they're valuable in themselves.
But Sam, how many artists can really do that? How many artists can really do that and earn like a justifiable?
I think it's more common than we think, honestly.
Is it?
I think it is. There's a lot of people being screwed, but there's a lot of people also who
again, it depends with your goals then. It depends with your goals.
It does, and that's what we've not seen. We don't know what Wakadinali want from.
But what I'm saying is, I don't think they really want to like it be like mainstream, like known. But that's what I'm saying. Maybe for them, okay, maybe we need to push it off of Wakadinali.
Okay. Take it off them.
So if it's just like a regular artist, you're an artist, you get this opportunity to go to Nigeria, whatever. Where is your real leverage? Okay, I think it's a balance, Sam. But I think you also have to play to the industry a little bit and understand that your leverage also lies. But it also lies in your numbers, like how your following on social media. How many numbers are you doing with your YouTube videos? How many numbers are you doing stream-wise? Are they legitimate, right? If you have a show, how many people are gonna show up? Is it gonna be 500?
Yeah.
Is it gonna be 1,000 people? Are they going to buy merchandise? You know what I mean? If I see all those things, then me as a promoter or an investor, I'm going to make my decision on how to invest in you based off of those. Now, do I think your music is great? Sure, I do. But who does that really appeal to? That would appeal to like an A&R or someone who's like, wow, this person's art is really curated well. I'll invest in that because I see what that can do. But business-wise, like Sam, you can't walk into like, unless... Like this works and it does work. We've seen the likes of like Kanye West, Kendrick Lamar, who are very like.
I don't even know if we should mention them. The normal label success would mention them as the apex of what they're trying to do. Those guys are doing something different in the world. I don't know. I don't get it.
I know, but like how many people like that exist? People whose art is so fucking like influential and so just well curated that the art is what eventually makes them shine through.
Yeah, well
and gets
you're right
them
on
all
that.
these deals.
It's not
and
many.
You know what I mean?
But it's not
and
many
like
in the
if you
visible
position
field.
yourself that way, Sam, all I'm saying is if you position yourself that way, be prepared to either be very successful or be let down. That's all I'm saying.
It's not those two options though, is it?
But it is. It's binary. For me, that's or like be prepared to just coast.
Okay, so
and
So I
make
guess
enough of that goes back to what your goals are, I guess.
But if we were to further this conversation, then it will now break down into the more philosophical part of art, where it's like what exactly is success as an artist, and that's a whole other. That's very subjective. I don't think we can.
May I know what success is as an artist, though? Because, okay, Sam, like, listen, I'm an artist as myself. And, bruh, I would love for my art to shine by itself. Bro, like, and we even talked a bit about this a little bit on Breaking Hearts. Like, the contentification of art and everything. I know art has so much intrinsic value as art. Mm-hmm. It does. It really does, and I wish that's something that's idealistic. I could live off of. But like Sam, at some point, it's idealistic. At some point, I have to realize, and maybe this is a sad thing to realize, that I'm not Kendrick Lamar. I'm not Kanye West. I might have to do some things,
push and pull a bit
that
more.
Would have to like make the art more of like a I'd have to market the art. I can't just leave it there and let it sell itself as good art. I'll have to commercialize it at some point. I'll have to figure out a way to market it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why I'm saying, bro, we've really come far in this argument. But I'm just saying, in this discussion, not argument, Like,
because you're playing your songs
ultimately,
in this matatu and pubs on loud stereo does not mean you've blown in Africa. That's so. Then you put a picture of a matatu. That's so unnecessary.
Yeah, that was so uncalled for. That was so uncalled for. But listen, Sam, I just think if you're an upcoming artist, think about what your goals are. Is it just to create good art? Is it to make a living off of your art? And then figure out a smart way to do that. Also, like we said, Sam, this
why are you lecturing me?
Push and pull.
When you say my name so many times, it sounds like I'm being lectured.
But see, because I'm talking to you, it's a podcast.
I'm listening to you though.
No, I'm just saying it's a push and pull. Like I feel like what you need to do is just like find a balance. And which is what this promoter is saying. As much as I don't want to even agree with him remotely, but it's a push and pull. Sometimes you have to give the industry what it wants, know you're being played, know that they're making money off of you, and never forget that. Never forget that. But take the value that you can. Be smart about how you take that value and you leverage it on you for yourself.
Yeah, and if you don't want to do the whole thing for what do you call it? If you don't want to do it for exposure or do it for whatever, I guess draw your line and stick to it. But then don't be mad if you come back to Kenya and people treat you with the line as like, this is who you are and this is what you are and we're going to do this for you. You know.
Ultimately, Sam, it's like if Wakadinali don't really care about breaking into the Nigerian market, then they have made the best decision that they could have made. You know what I mean? Yeah. But for me, or like Abutros, who I feel like I don't really know because I haven't had a conversation about him, but just from the optics, I feel like I'm not saying that he wants to go and do events for free or whatever, but it would make sense to have the opportunity to be flown out there, to have accommodation, and then go out there and make moves, record in the studios.
What was the situation with the whole producers. UK thing? Was it similar or no?
Oh yeah, kind of similar, to be fair, because even there they were like finessed.
But that's different. Being finessed or being told outright we're not paying you is a bit different.
Yeah, because there's a level of transparency here. They went there thinking something else, and
that's worse. It's terrible.
Yeah, that's way worse. That's way worse. But like if you're given the luxury or the opportunity to make this decision, I know I'm not gonna be paid as I should. Mm-hmm. Okay, I think you should also go out there and want to be paid something. Maybe you're not being paid like your real value.
Yeah.
But you're gonna compensate for that based off of the connections you'll make, the producers you'll meet, the A&Rs you meet. You might meet an A&R who is connected with Wizkid, and all of a sudden you have a song with Wizkid. All of a sudden you're writing for Burna Boy.
Yeah, you could
all of a sudden you know what I mean? Like,
you could do that if you're getting paid for the show still.
But nobody. Yeah, you could. It's a hard one. It's a hard decision to make.
Ultimately, it depends. Ultimately, I think it depends on your goal and what you're trying to do.
Ultimately.
Yeah. At least the promoter was being transparent.
At least. I feel like this is the first time that I've been the devil's advocate in an argument.
Yeah. Well, I get it. I get what you're trying to say.
Yeah. But anyway, they made the decision that was right for them, and ultimately, that's all that matters. You know what I mean?
In other news.
In other news?
Oh, no, I'll just say in other news to segue into, I opened the door to just a room.
Oh my God. You said in other news and didn't have any news to back the other news.
This, I wasn't necessarily using it as a, it was more of a full stop than a comma. If you understand what I'm trying to say. Anyway, can we move on, please? That was...
We can.
Shout out to Wakadinali, though, honestly.
Shout out to them. Shout out to them for real. In other news, like, I wasn't really seeing any things that I really wanted to talk about. I mean, Caroline Mutoko retired from Radio Africa. Shout out to her. I feel like she left radio like a while ago anyway, so...
The minor refused to pay for some things. Or rather, he was being accused of some things on Twitter. But we shall not talk about that.
I didn't see that. I did see that. But prayers and blessings for everyone.
Prayers and blessings to everyone involved.
To everyone involved.
Oh, man.
I hope the best for everyone.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. Other than that, I mean, I feel like the Wakadinali conversation was like the biggest one for me because I just feel like it's something that as an artist on any level,
it is though.
you're
It's
gonna like
and something that
encounter.
we've brought up. It's something that we're going to keep bringing up just because I think it's the mode here. It's because this is it's a developing industry, and that's a very developing issue. It's a thing. It's a big issue for developing artists on how to know when to go for total monetary value or to try and diversify your value streams. That makes sense.
Yeah. One person who I worry for is you know, what's her name? The girl for Kaveve Kazoze. I think she's called Ngesh.
Yeah.
Like,
you showed me that song,
bro. I've been seeing her, like she's like really blowing up, man. You know what I mean? And like I think she signed like a deal with some dudes, and I'm seeing her like doing brand deals and all this and that. Bro, I hope she's
she has
being taken care of properly. Yeah.
Because that could sound like a disaster.
Man, we've seen this story, man. Look, I can see her on the plane right now. Like they're really, really, really like peddling her around. I just hope that whoever is handling her situation is handling it with care. Because we've seen this story before. They come they find an artist who's really hot, really raw, you know, so raw and really just like, relates, like people can relate to. And then they just squeeze them dry. And I don't know. I don't know why I have a bad feeling in the pit of my stomach that that's what's happening right now.
Let's see how it plays out. As long as she needs to, it would be amazing if someone can just ship this segment off to her. She needs to get herself, as expensive as it would be, try and get yourself someone who can at least look at your contracts and you can run your decisions by, who has a little bit of knowledge in the industry and who is a good person.
But may I feel like she's already signed a bunch of contracts. But I don't know.
Hopefully she's already done that.
This is gonna be.
Let's see.
This is gonna be a story that we will come back to.
But we should find a name too.
In a positive light. No, she's called Gesh.
Gesh, okay.
Now you've made me worried that I got the wrong name. But yeah, new music. Speaking of musicians, Sam, what were you listening?
What dropped? What dropped this week? A whole bunch of music dropped. Let's see. Mudaka. I think Mudaka was. Let me check. Mudaka and Bensoul released a song called "Secret Lover." Is that what it's called? I think she was on his album. Honestly, let me see. Bensoul and
I actually really enjoyed that song.
It sounded good. It did sound good.
Yeah.
Dang, I can't see it.
Kind of sounded like something I'd produce, you know, because it sounds so good.
Okay.
You know? Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Great. That was a good song. Produced by.
I don't think they
Copy
credited
Worldwide.
them on.
I don't know who that is, but shout out to you. Really good songs. So many guitars. Yeah, that was good. Mrumbi and Basic City dropped a remix.
Worldwide,
yeah. Before that, sorry. Raha by Heskey. HSKE.
Yeah, and my own.
I can't believe I said Heskey. That's terrible. Yeah, and Mudane the Drama King released Raha. That was cool. Saru Furthermore. Is it Furthermore or Furthermore? How are you supposed to pronounce that?
It's just Furthermore.
Utam Flani and Trix HR. I
can see Furthermore and Saru are trying to, they're trying to be a dynamic duo for 2023.
Dynamic duo.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Mr. Sneaky Link by Iyana. Iyana is one of the R&B songs.
Shout out Iyana, Iya Diesel for your head top.
Yeah.
Shout out to Iyana, man. Oh, and Lucorito.
Yeah, Diesel for your head tops.
No, and Lucorito, Mr. Sneaky Link, MSL, man. You all need to cop that, bro. It's fire.
Yeah. She got added to a really big playlist, which is pretty good. However she got that,
Yes, congratulations! She got added to Fresh Finds R&B, and it's the main one. You know what I mean? The main Fresh Finds, not like
Not
Fresh Finds. That's regional. That's regional.
not the regional.
That's what I said. That's regional one. Yeah.
Not the
she added
regional
to,
Fresh Finds.
And pretty high up, man. Pretty high up. She's like,
yeah,
she's like there, like top middle.
I'm going to monitor what
Ooh.
that does to her, I guess, monthly listeners or her plays.
She tweeted that she's already surpassed 1,000 plays, which is for us upcoming artists. That's pretty fast.
Yeah,
to already
on a
pass
1 day,
1,000
2 day
plays,
thing. Yeah,
threshold. She's already on 1,000. Let me tell you, Iana is part of the new class of R&B acts who are the future. Iana, Gabi, Zoe Kengocha, who we've talked about, Maya Molo. Although Maya Molo is a bit more advanced in like her career, these are like the new like upcoming like R&B acts who like are really really gonna take center stage in the next like 2 years.
Yeah,
I said it here on the podcast first.
Yeah, I do feel. I don't know how to say it because I don't want to sound bad. I feel like they would need, for them to get to where they're going, and we had talked about this before we started recording. For them to get to where they're going, I feel like there's a level of production they need to get to.
Yeah,
that they're not.
But that's not even.
They're not.
But that's not even a bad thing. But that's not even a bad thing because they're still upcoming. Like you're not gonna come out of the gate with scissor level production. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're gonna start somewhere.
And by production, I just don't mean the beat itself. I mean like everything.
I'm talking about production. Yeah. Like obviously now you're still gonna be doing things by yourself. You're not really gonna have a manager.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna still be putting out your music by yourself. Like so obviously that learning curve is gonna be there. But I'm telling you, just based off of raw potential, it's all there. And listen, you know, like even like with Karun and Zinia right now, who are like really on the top, they have good management, they have a good distributor. Like those are things that come with time.
Okay, I mean, I do get you. Oh, okay.
And me how I feel, let me tell you how I feel is that if like now Andia or Iana had the same access to facilities, producers, to just people who do playlists and just all this type of stuff as like a Karun or a Zinia, I think they'd be doing just as good. Genuinely, that's how I feel.
I mean, I hope they get to that level, obviously. We'll see how we keep developing. They're still pretty new, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, and we'll also play a part because I have a song with Iana.
That's why you're arguing
and Gabi
so much.
As well. That's why I'm no. So I sound hella biased.
You're keeping for your artists. Oh, look at you, Mr. Bias.
I don't
Mr. Bias.
No, like here. I genuinely no. But to be honest, I genuinely do feel this way about their music. Right now, it's super exciting to see. Genuinely. Cool. There's a ton of people I've worked with who I wouldn't like publicly like back like this. Trust me. But yeah, shout out to them. What else did we listen to this week, Sam?
What did you listen to?
That's what I'm looking for. Radasafi by Kid Ian and Ska came out. That was interesting. Every Day by Mervin Obiero. Shout out to Mervin. He's always good with his releases. Our boy Id Aziz broke a world record, Sam.
What record has he broken?
That's the shortest song I've ever seen him release. It was like 2 minutes and 30 seconds. That's honestly a record. His songs are usually a minimum of 7 minutes. And even then, it sounded like it was an edit, like a radio edit or something. It sounded like they cut it off abruptly.
How is this guy getting all this different? Because the person usually... dang, this guy is...
I think, isn't Id Aziz like the most streamed Kenyan artist? Like,
he might be at this point, honestly.
He has to.
He's getting his. I mean, not the streams.
He's on 435.
He's on everything. He's at 435. What monthly listen? 435,000. Yeah.
Oh my God, fan! Like when you listen to his music and you go on Spotify and you go to the fans also like section, the first 4 people, Danbe, A-Town, Fela Kuti, and Peter Tosh.
Okay, all right. Okay,
What?
Fela Kuti though.
That's
I don't know.
kind of cool.
I don't know.
but it's Spotify who's gonna compile that. So based off of their data,
maybe.
That's kind of cool.
Anyways, that's really cool though. I really like seeing this. This is. I think we're seeing a story before us.
What do you mean Fela Kuti only has 548,000 monthly listeners?
Well, when you've passed, I don't think your growth is not as, especially if the industry is not doing what they're doing to Juice WRLD and King Von and all of that business and Triple X Tentacion. Like you won't really grow as much. You have your solid fans who are going to listen to you.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, who else released Peter, Back to the Future?
Oh, I like
bars.
that. I really like it. It's just straight rap, bro.
Rapping
over samples is for me is like a formula. You can't. It's very hard to miss, especially if you're not trying to do America rap. If you're keeping it Swahili and doing that, which this was. It's like you're not trying to, sound like what you're not. So I really love that. There's another one too. I think it's called Big Man Circle or Suspect. One of those two where it's again just rapping over samples, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, also this is a stat that I forgot to mention last podcast. Zinnia and Boutros both for the first time surpassed 1 million streams on a song on Spotify. Zinnia with Love Me or Leave Me and Boutros with obviously Angela. So congratulations to them, man. That's dope. Having 1 million streams on something is really not easy. It's really not easy to do. So that's something to really like applaud. You know what I mean? Like you did that, man. You guys did that. 1 million streams on a song. Congratulations.
That's true.
Aside from that, I listened to, I think it's pronounced Grim.
Yeah,
by
it's
8th
Grim.
Street Gang.
Srim. 6 Rim.
Yeah, I think it's Grim. I think that 6 is supposed
like
to be
slack.
a G. Yeah, like black. It's lack. 6 lack. Yeah, I actually really liked it, man. Drill is fire. Drill is just fire. Like it's so dark and like menacing, and that's my sound. If anybody knows me production-wise, I mostly produce like a lot of dark sounding music. So it's just right up my alley.
Soul.
I'm a troubled soul, as Sam said.
Very much one.
Sam, I would like to like do something different. We've never really played drill on the podcast.
Well, okay, yeah, true. Because the episode with dang, why am I blanking out on his name?
Oh, with Philo. It was a drill artist, but it was on hip hop. You talk about Spinks Mafia, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. So
it was on a trap beat. So
Grim by 8th Street Gang. 8th Street
8th Street Gang. Let's go. Here's Grim.
Go hard, Grim.
Stretch my wrist nikikweka kwa pala PTSD rani back kama Tenet aliganda kama mala mask on my face ni pesa ya dibala time is money sina time ya makata fuck your code straight to the point paper chase your gwala choose your side kama wewe si op of course ukiswitch na kupop ching tunapima kila organ the top mini bipolar nikijam usimess na me mad dog on the loose bila collar kila fight is ends in a bleed Mbogi K-pop yo ni TNT hatuna hiyo time tuko D&D anabajaza dogo na ni BIG no tension tukisqueeze ata be one more fling 2 on on the side wako jumpy. Ride for your bros in seats iko bumpy. Youth man wamejipin na ukapi. Maops wako wapi? Damu kudrop predicament. Violence on you ni vitamin. Skengi na emda na ligaments. Hatuna remorse tuko innocent. Tulimpata kwa choche alianza kuwa dental. Moshi kwa ground ilibidi ame take off. Kani beef tunaiserve juu ya meko. Wanangam kwa ground tumekam na mamento plus. Mbugi na drill just skill na otas. Kamizi ends tupunguze hiyo gas. Penga limset job kufuata hiyo nyash. Bigs tunaset na wapandisha class. Mas niko zone nimejipin na kitochi. Niko busy na scan ma ops. Hakuna fair game hizi streets na kupoch ki authentic. Sip tunaforge. Gang on the road na mapipa. Hakuna plan B ikifail tunangada. Lidhani yako set tulimstock kwa maganda. Sweep size yake kani nyasi atalamba. Skim tulichora iko smooth ka vanilla. Tunda NS2 everyday mana drillers. Lengi na pry ukifall hiyo ni mila. Bado tunawoka watoki ni thriller.
Osieso nauliza nana limuona smile wanadhani najua. Oblock limok na upini mbogi nikao kunungua. Alirudi ndethe dead side zote usikize nsikli mvua. Kuro tumekam na ulipo. Hakuna kusikia kuna mvua. Nashinda na mask na glove na mash kuna beef na kudia si ukam. Gongoz wameshinda una yap jukimoko na dark. Kwa form na I the fat guys hawezi nishinda kuran. Your techno bro unazua. Yes takufa na ujue nechukua. More money more problems ndio shida mina ombea. Soki za macho anateta mina monea. Kwa mnaya Karen ruka feng sikujua kuna mbwa. Mission fail next time tukikama sweater yua. Niko renta ijina stock yo fala walaisi ya leak location. Bado final na stock sistake. Akifamba tunakam kwa kwao. Nimlipa thao ya vasi ya come to mnyure kwa studio. Walizocho watembea na kidungi. Surprise bado wana legi. Una raps ukuje. Mseuko na ndenga zutoe. Back then tukikesha F1 F2 Phase 3 tutoke mabombe. Unanusa silver kani boy. Teke ni utoe. Za dunia ni sisi tunachukua.
That was Grim by 8th Street Gang. Shout out to them. They look like they're like a really smaller upcoming like movement of artists. So
produced by PDP Music 254.
Yeah, shout out.
And Go
shout
Hard
out to
Grim.
The producer.
Go Hard Grim is a fire name. Go Hard Grim.
Pause. Okay. Yeah. Well, yes. Shout out to them.
Jeez. Oh my gosh. All right. Okay.
Yes, sir. Okay, bruh, Sam, things got a bit spicy with our arguing today. I think...
Was that an argument? We haven't argued yet.
Not argue, sorry, not argue. Why do I keep on saying argument? No, with our discussion. It was just a discussion.
Maybe, Afam, maybe you experience opposition.
Oh, wow.
Maybe you don't experience opposition enough. So that any bit of opposition feels like an argument to you. Maybe you need to confront more in your life, Afam. Maybe you need that.
Oh, okay.
Maybe you need to embrace confrontation. Are you confrontation averse? Do you avoid confrontation, or you're cool with it? Get to know Afam segment.
I'm a confrontation avoider. I am a confrontation. I can't speak. A confrontation avoider.
Okay.
I'm avoidant. My love language is confrontation avoidance. You know how there's anxious and avoidant? There's do you know those whatevers? The attachment styles.
Oh my god.
Have you not gone through the attachment styles?
I haven't really gone through them as much. But I should.
Yeah.
Your love language is confrontation of okay, man.
Avoidant.
Anyway, that's cool. It's good to have differing opinions, I think.
Nah, it is. But to be honest, we don't really differ as much as we just both see. Because I also see like both sides of the.
Well, if we both state all our opinions at like as raw as they come, I think we'd differ a lot. Honestly, I feel like if we are not as PC, if we are not as politically correct, we'd be arguing every single episode.
Do you think we're Here's a question to the audience. Do you think Sam and I are politically correct?
Yes. More so you, actually.
You know what? Fine. Sam, this is what we're doing.
What are we doing?
I'm going to call out everybody in the industry who I don't like by name. Here we go.
Let's go.
I'm getting the list ready right now.
This is the part we're clipping up.
Clipping up. You know what? I'll come I'll come with this list next
yeah,
week.
yeah. Obviously, yeah. Let's just end this, man. I'm not doing this with you. This has been the 30% podcast.
Why would I do that?
No.
Sam, why would I do that?
Here we are thinking you're going to be authentic, me and the fans, and then
me, I'm authentic as hell, man.
Okay.
Me, I'm very authentic. All the opinions you've had on this podcast are authentically
curated.
The opinions I have, yes, authentically curated.
Very well curated, in order not to offend a single person.
Oh wow! I can't believe I fell for that. That's so annoying. No.
Oh man, thank you guys for listening. Oh, okay.
No. Yeah, thank you guys for listening. And Sam, I just finished The Bear. It's a series that you really should watch.
I tried watching it. I slept.
Anyway, guys, this has been the 30% podcast. You can find us on Instagram, on Facebook, not Facebook, on Threads, on LinkedIn, and all
everywhere.
Those beautiful social
We've
media.
sold our souls out to social media.
Clearly, some of us don't have good taste in series, but that's a discussion for next episode. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Suki and Hafari, for having us at the
shout out to
Hearts
y'all.
podcast. And we will catch you on episode 33. Which used to be a very scary number. It used to be a number associated with very scary things, but
Is
here
it?
we go.
Now look what
33.
you're doing. Remember what happened when you started bringing superstition into the whole thing? Can you just not?
Okay, we out.